Welcome to BrainJuice.fm. I'm your host, Sophia. Here, we explore the fascinating world of human thought. In each episode, we'll look at psychological and neuroscience concepts through a scientific lens, helping you understand the principles behind how our minds work. Are you ready to embrace new ideas and challenges? Let's broaden your perspective together. Have you ever felt that there are parts of yourself you don't fully understand? Or maybe you find yourself acting in ways that don't feel true to who you are. Imagine living a life where you embrace all aspects of yourself, both the light and the dark, and feel truly whole. Today we're exploring the life and work of Carl Jung, a pioneering psychologist who explored these questions. He developed the concept of individuation, a journey toward discovering and integrating one's true self. But what does this journey look like through the lens of modern neuroscience? How does our brain navigate this complex process of becoming whole? In this episode, we'll uncover not only Jung's theory of individuation, but also how recent research in neuroscience sheds light on why this process is vital for our mental and emotional well-being. I'm Sophia, and you're listening to BrainJuice.fm, where we explore the depths of psychology, neuroscience, and self-development to help you live a more insightful, authentic life. Today, we'll explore how the brain's architecture supports, or sometimes hinders, our quest for wholeness. Before we search for the brain's role in individuation, let's take a step back to get to know Carl Jung, the man behind this groundbreaking concept. Who was he, and what experiences shaped his revolutionary ideas about the human psyche? Carl Gustav Jung was born in 1875 in Switzerland when the world was rapidly changing. Psychology was still in its infancy, and concepts like the unconscious mind were beginning to be explored. Jung was a curious child, fascinated by his dreams and inner world. His father was a pastor, and the family's strict religious environment profoundly influenced Jung's early life. Jung studied medicine at the University of Basel, but his interest in the human mind and behavior led him to psychiatry. He later worked at the Burgholzli Clinic in Zurich, a leading psychiatric hospital where he began his groundbreaking research into the human psyche. In 1907, Jung met Sigmund Freud, the father of psychoanalysis. The two formed a close relationship, and Freud saw Jung as his intellectual heir. But their partnership didn't last long. Jung's ideas began to diverge from Freud's, especially regarding the unconscious mind. While Freud emphasized the role of repressed sexuality, Jung believed the unconscious was much more profound, encompassing not just personal experiences, but also collective, shared human memories and symbols. Their split marked a turning point for Jung. He embarked on a personal journey he called his confrontation with the unconscious, a period marked by intense inner turmoil and vivid dreams. This experience laid the groundwork for his key concepts, such as the shadow, the anima and animus, and most importantly, the self, the central archetype of wholeness and balance. Jung's theories were deeply personal, reflecting his struggles and experiences. This journey led him to develop the concept of individuation, the process of integrating the different parts of oneself to achieve wholeness. Today, Jung's ideas influence psychology, literature, art, and even modern spirituality. His emphasis on the symbolic and mythological aspects of human experience offers a profound framework for understanding ourselves and our place in the world. But what does it mean to individuate, and why is this journey to the true self so important? To answer that, we need to explore some of Jung's most influential concepts and see how they align with what we now know about the brain's intricate workings. We'll start with the shadow, the parts of ourselves we'd rather not see, and the neuroscience behind why these hidden aspects exist in the first place. Individuation is the process of becoming who you indeed are. It's not about becoming perfect, it's about becoming whole. Jung believed this journey to the self is the central purpose of human life. It involves integrating the conscious and unconscious parts of the psyche, often facing aspects of ourselves that we'd prefer to ignore or hide. But how does this process unfold within the brain? Let's break down some of the critical components of individuation, starting with the shadow, and see how modern neuroscience can help us understand this mysterious process. The shadow represents the parts of ourselves that we reject or deny. These are often aspects of our personality that we're ashamed of or have been conditioned to believe are unacceptable, like anger, jealousy, or hidden talents and desires. Neuroscientifically, these repressed elements are stored in the brain's unconscious regions, such as the amygdala and hippocampus. Imagine you've had a stressful experience at work that made you feel helpless or angry, but instead of acknowledging these feelings, you bury them deep down. The amygdala and hippocampus work together to store this emotional memory. Later, when a seemingly unrelated event triggers a similar feeling, you might react strongly without understanding why. This is the shadow at work, repressed emotions surfacing in unexpected ways. Jung believed that confronting and integrating the shadow is essential for personal growth. Neuroscience supports this idea. Studies show that when we actively process and integrate difficult emotions, the prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for rational thinking and decision-making, becomes more engaged. This helps us regulate our emotions more effectively and reduces the likelihood of being overwhelmed by sudden emotional outbursts. The persona is another key component in the individuation process. It's the social mask we wear to fit into society and our role in different settings. Neuroscience tells us that the medial prefrontal cortex, MPFC, is involved in this self-referential thinking and social role-playing. When we over-identify with our persona, our brains are essentially on autopilot, trying to meet social expectations without engaging the deeper, more reflective parts of the self. For instance, if you're always playing the responsible professional role at work, but feel stifled or disconnected inside, your MPFC is working overtime to maintain this social mask. Over time, this disconnect can lead to stress and even burnout, as the brain struggles to keep up with a facade that doesn't match your true feelings. Understanding the neural mechanisms behind the persona can help us recognize when we're falling into this trap. By consciously choosing to express more authentic parts of ourselves, we can engage other brain regions, such as the anterior cingulate cortex, which helps us process emotional and social conflicts, and the insula, which contributes to our sense of self-awareness. Next, let's move on to the Anima and Animus, the feminine and masculine aspects of our unconscious, which Jung believed are crucial for achieving inner balance. The Anima and Animus represent the feminine and masculine qualities within us, regardless of gender. Neuroscientifically, this concept aligns with the idea that we all have both masculine and feminine neural traits, such as empathy, logic, creativity, and structure. Integrating these traits can improve neural connectivity between different brain networks, enhancing emotional resilience and cognitive flexibility. For instance, men who embrace their anima, their capacity for empathy, intuition, and emotional expression, may experience greater activation in areas like the insula and the anterior cingulate cortex, which are associated with emotional awareness and regulation. Women who integrate their animus, assertiveness, analytical thinking, and leadership qualities may show increased activity in the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, which supports goal-oriented behavior and decision-making. This integration of anima and animus allows us to express a fuller version of ourselves, free from rigid gender roles or stereotypes. It's about creating a more balanced brain that can navigate life's complexities with greater ease and adaptability. Finally, all these elements, the shadow, the persona, the anima, and the animus, come together in the self, the central archetype of Jung's theory. The self represents the psyche's totality, the conscious and unconscious union, the personal and the collective. Achieving the self is the ultimate goal of individuation. It's the experience of being whole, embracing all parts of ourselves, and living in harmony with who we truly are. But individuation is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong process, a journey towards self-discovery and fulfillment. It's about continually integrating the different parts of ourselves as we grow and change throughout our lives. Modern neuroscience suggests that this process of self-integration is supported by neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. As we become more aware of our inner world and work on integrating these aspects, our brain rewires itself, supporting our journey toward wholeness. Real-world applications of individuation. Individuation may sound like a complex psychological and neurobiological process, but we can all begin in our daily lives. It's about recognizing and embracing all aspects of who we are, even those parts we may have neglected or denied. So, let's explore some practical ways to start your individuation journey with insights from psychology and neuroscience. 1. Reflective journaling. Take a moment each day to write about your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Ask yourself questions like, what made me uncomfortable today? Or, did I react in a way that surprised me? For example, if you feel jealous of a colleague's success, don't dismiss or judge that feeling. Instead, explore it. What does that jealousy reveal about your aspirations or insecurities? By acknowledging these hidden aspects, you can begin to understand and integrate them. When you journal about these emotions, you engage the prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for reflection and conscious thought. This process helps build new neural pathways that allow you to respond to these emotions more consciously and less reactively. 2. Pay attention to projections. Notice when you react well to someone else's behavior, whether it's admiration or irritation. Ask yourself, is there a part of me I'm seeing in them? This exercise can help you identify qualities you may have disowned in your shadow. Projections are how your brain attempts to externalize internal conflicts. Recognizing projections can engage brain regions like the anterior cingulate cortex. This helps resolve disputes between internal beliefs and external behaviors, leading to more balanced emotional responses. 3. Aligning the persona. We all wear different masks in different situations, but the key is recognizing when you're over-identifying with your persona. To do this, reflect on your social roles and ask yourself, who am I when no one is watching? Or, which parts of myself do I hide in different social settings? If your persona differs vastly from how you feel inside, consider small steps to align the two. For instance, if you're known as the go-to person at work, but it's wearing you out, try setting boundaries by saying no to extra tasks. It's a way to honor your actual needs without abandoning your social role. Aligning your persona with your true self can reduce activity in the default mode network, which is associated with self-referential thinking and rumination. This alignment engages the prefrontal cortex more actively, allowing for better emotional regulation and reducing anxiety linked to maintaining a facade. Four. Explore anima and animus. Engage in activities that express qualities you may have suppressed due to societal expectations. If you're a man always focused on logic and achievement, try creative or nurturing activities like art or volunteering. If you're a woman often in nurturing roles, explore assertive or strategic activities like public speaking or leadership workshops. Engaging in activities that express your anima or animus can enhance neural connectivity between different brain networks. For example, creative activities can increase connectivity in the brain's default mode network, while strategic activities can engage the central executive network, improving focus and decision-making. 5. Connect with the self through mindfulness and meditation. Spend a few minutes each day in silence, simply observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment. This practice can help you become more aware of the different parts of yourself and cultivate a sense of inner harmony. Mindfulness and meditation increase gray matter density in areas like the prefrontal cortex and the insula, which are associated with self-awareness and emotional regulation. Regular practice can also enhance connectivity between brain networks, leading to a more integrated and harmonious sense of self. As you begin this journey, be gentle with yourself. There's no rush and no final destination. The most important thing is to start exploring and integrating these different aspects of yourself. It's a process that will unfold in its own time as long as you remain open and curious. Mind Check, discovering your authentic self. Welcome to the Mind Check segment, where we pause to reflect on our personal growth. Today, let's think about a common experience. Imagine you're at a gathering with friends or co-workers. You feel the pressure to act a certain way, but deep down, it doesn't feel like you. Here's a question for you to consider. In moments like this, which part of yourself do you struggle with the most? Choose one of these options. Hiding how you really feel or think because you worry about being judged. Be putting on a happy face even when you don't feel that way inside. Suppressing certain interests or traits because they don't fit what's expected of you. And feeling like you're missing a deeper sense of inner peace or purpose. Take a moment to reflect on your answer. It's okay if more than one resonates with you. Pick the one that stands out the most right now. If you chose A, you might be dealing with aspects of your shadow, parts of yourself that you tend to ignore or hide from others. If you chose B, you may feel disconnected from your persona, the social masks you wear that don't align with your true feelings. If C stood out, you could be struggling with the Anima and Animus, traits you've suppressed due to social or cultural expectations. And if D resonated, you might be yearning for a deeper connection with yourself, a sense of inner wholeness and peace. Remember, there's no right or wrong answer. This is just a way to bring more awareness to your inner world and where you are right now. Individuation is a lifelong journey, and wherever you are is exactly where you're meant to be. The key is to keep exploring, reflecting, and growing.
The Juice of the Brain, integrating psychology and neuroscience for personal growth. In this segment, we distill the essence of today's discussion into practical insights that you can apply to your own life. We've discussed individuation, the process of becoming whole by integrating different parts of your psyche. But why is this so important for your mental and emotional well-being? Let's break it down from both psychological and neuroscientific perspectives. From a psychological standpoint, individuation helps us become more self-aware and authentic. Integrating the shadow reduces inner conflict and the unconscious influence of repressed emotions on our behavior. By recognizing the masks we wear, the persona, we can make more conscious choices about how we present ourselves to the world, reducing feelings of disconnection and burnout. Embracing the Anima and Animus allows us to break free from rigid gender roles and express a fuller range of human potential. Modern neuroscience shows that individuation is not just a symbolic journey, but a literal brain rewiring. When confronting and integrating the shadow, we engage the prefrontal cortex, which helps us regulate emotions and make more conscious decisions. This process can also reduce activity in the amygdala, which is associated with fear and anxiety, leading to more excellent emotional stability. Similarly, aligning our persona with our true self decreases the brain's need for self-referential thinking, reducing stress and promoting mental clarity. Engaging with our Anima and Animus can enhance connectivity between brain networks, improving emotional resilience and cognitive flexibility. And when all these aspects come together in the self, we experience what neuroscience calls neural integration. This means that different brain parts work together more harmoniously, leading to a greater sense of well-being, reduced stress, and increased capacity for empathy and compassion. So here's the takeaway. Individuation isn't just about understanding yourself better. It's about creating a more resilient, adaptable, and integrated brain. The more we embrace and integrate all parts of ourselves, the more balanced and harmonious our minds become. This in turn makes us better equipped to handle life's challenges, form deeper connections, and live more fulfilling lives. The next time you're faced with a difficult emotion or a challenging situation, try this. Instead of reacting or suppressing, take a few moments to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, which part of me is being triggered right now? Is it the shadow, the persona, or perhaps something to do with my anima or animus? By identifying and acknowledging these parts, you activate your prefrontal cortex, helping you respond more thoughtfully and less reactively. Remember, this isn't about fixing yourself, it's about getting to know yourself better and building a brain that supports your journey to wholeness. As we've seen, individuation is a powerful journey of self-discovery that has profound implications for our mental and neural health. Understanding and integrating all parts of ourselves can lead to more authentic, fulfilling lives. This process isn't just about understanding our minds, it's about actively reshaping our brains to support a more harmonious and balanced existence. Next time on BrainJuice.fm, we'll explore the life and legacy of Nelson Mandela, a man who exemplified resilience and strength in the face of adversity. We'll discuss the psychological principles behind resilience, how Mandela's journey offers profound lessons on endurance, and what modern psychology can teach us about developing resilience. Stay tuned for Episode 2, Nelson Mandela and the Psychology of Resilience, Lessons from a Life of Endurance. Until then, keep exploring, reflecting, and remembering. Becoming who you truly are is a lifelong journey. Take it one step at a time. I'm Sophia, and this has been BrainJuice.fm. See you next time. Thank you for joining me today on BrainJuice.fm. I hope this episode has sparked new thoughts and offered you a deeper understanding of how our minds work. Remember, the learning journey is ongoing. Every small insight can lead to bigger discoveries. If you enjoyed today's discussion, please subscribe, comment, and share it with others who might find it helpful.
Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring new ideas.